Oh my goodness. Good morning, bon dia alegria from me, Carl Munson of expatsportugal.com. This, of course, is the Good Morning Portugal show. And Milda is already here. Bon dia alegria to you, Milda, and to Jim in Germany. I think Milda is in Norway and Jim is in Germany this morning. Where are the Portuguese people? Where are the Americans this morning? And where are you this morning? Let me know. And my good friend, my good buddy Frank is here with me this morning. How are you, Frank?
Good morning. I was having a dance while you played the music. For some reason, it had like some special vibe to it. What's going on?
I was feeling that too, Frank, and I could see you there in the green room getting down to the and I was thinking, I'm sure there are some talented people in our community who could give us a kind of house or like 4 on the Floor remix of that. And then it goes and bring the beat back to the whistling tune there. So if you are that person, if you're a bit of a remixer and you want to remix up the Good Morning Portugal tune, and we'll all go on tour around Europe performing it in various nightclubs, let's do it. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. You know the part where like the guy is whistling in there? I am the guy who doesn't know how to whistle, but I pretend very well to whistle. So like I'll be like, you'll be around and somebody like there'll be a whistling sound, whatever, and I'll be like,
I think that'll work.
That'll work, right?
Yeah, for the PAs we do in nightclubs, we've both got our gold mankinis on. We can just be whistling or miming the whistling. Now, if you've just joined the Good Morning Portugal show and you're wondering what on earth is going on here, there are men talking about gold mankinis, miming the whistling of a new house tune based on the theme tune. Yes, this is the Good Morning Portugal show, and we're with you every weekday morning with helping you to come to Portugal and serving those who are already here in Portugal. And just going back briefly to our tour of Europe with our new tune, I think we've got the beer sponsor as well. I want to talk about this in just a moment. Mark Gardner's incredible range of Pausa beers, because there is a bit of a food and drink related theme to what we do here on a Monday morning with Frank. But it's having, I just said it earlier this morning, it's having a post-prandial nap on the sofa is the food tour, as we broaden it out to all aspects of Portuguese culture, and particularly taking the pulse of post-pandemic Portugal, keeping an eye on things, making sure everybody's okay, because these are tentative times, aren't they, that we're living in. And it's a bit weird, let's be honest, it's a bit weird. So Frank and I, we are not doctors or experts in any particular field, for that matter.
Hey, speak for yourself. Doctor of love, doctor of love.
Apart from being doctors of love, of course, fully certified. We are here just to talk it through with you every Monday morning. So let us know how you're feeling about going back out into the big wide world. Any sense of normal that you've managed to eke out of the ashes, let us know about that as well. And really, who are you, where are you, and how are you doing this morning, and what's your interest in Portugal? So let me ask you that first, Frank. How has your weekend been on let's face it, this trajectory out of this last weird year? Coimbra's coming back to life, isn't it? And have you been experiencing that?
Absolutely. We've been walking around. First of all, the good thing is as you walk around, and we had a chance this weekend, we had a chance to meet some new friends. We went and sat down. We just didn't realize everything shuts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays and Sundays. So we met at 12 at this place over here, which is like a nice Italian place. We went over there, first of all, didn't make an appointment because I was like, well, who needs an appointment? Who needs to reserve a table? You show up and they don't have anything. So anyways, we walked around, but it was so beautiful. It's so beautiful to hear live music. Remember that place, Camponesa? And for the audience as well, we've got like this Camponesa is a little garraferia over here where they sell wine from all over Portugal, and they've got the first time we met with the wine club over there, they had somebody practicing music, and there was like in the streets there was like all kinds of music, and it's back. This is exactly the soundtrack that I first heard, that I fell in love with when we came to Coimbra, and it's back. People are walking around, and it's it's so refreshing to see people walking around drunk again. Like I miss that.
Did you ever think you'd say that? But
No.
I get what you mean. But actually, to be fair, the drunks that you meet on the street are very different to my native UK. People are much more jolly here, I find, in their inebriated state than they might be in the UK. Is that the same in Canada? Do people walk around inebriated in your native Canada?
Yeah, we've got like, because in Canada, if it's a minus 25, minus 30, few days that happen, and after that it's like regular hibernation. And when people come out from there, you can imagine they go completely crazy and they want to hug and kiss each other. And meanwhile, this guy is my neighbor and I've not seen him for ages. And suddenly this guy wants to come and hug me and say, Frank, I missed you. I go, but I never see you. How would you miss me when you never see me?
Yes. Oh, excellent. Like a little vignette there of life in Coimbra, coming back to normal. And I use the term loosely. Obviously, it's going to be a very interesting few weeks and months. And let's say hello to a few people this morning and find out how you're readjusting to hopefully a deconfining, a reopening world wherever you are in the world right now. I see that Australia isn't opening its borders until 2023. Did I read that correctly? But anyway, if you are Australia, let us know what's going on over there. And wherever you are, I mean, you're the experts, obviously, in your part of the world. So much of what we see on the news, obviously, is speculation. And we're not averse to a bit of speculation here or opinion. Or at least we're honest about it when we're speculating and having an opinion. Guten Morgen, auf Wiesbaden, Germany, from Jim McDonald, who was in early this morning alongside Milda. The Circus School are here. That sounds like fun. Bon dia, Mundo, from Circus School. Paul in sunny Northampton, UK. Great to hear from you, Paul. Is that the same as Paul and Louise, I wonder? Maybe not. Morning all. A fabulous sunny weekend here in Hertfordshire in the UK. Have a great week. Thanks, Ian. I am warming up. Yeah, growing old disgracefully sessions. They are coming, everybody. Jonesy, I'm in Oregon. Bon dia. Good morning to you, Jonesy. We appreciate your company wherever you turn up. I think you were with us for a little bit at a man cave on Friday. Have you heard from Earthkeeping, Frank? Or
no, I haven't heard from Earthkeeping. Should I just apologize to Earthkeeping right now? I love you, Earthkeeping. It was done in a moment of jest. We all love each other. Let's do the Tantra thing together, hold hands for a bit. Oh, you know what, for a short while I was calling Earthkeeping. I was like, I should apologize to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then I kept on thinking, oh no, that's a band. Earthkeeping is, okay, sorry. Earthkeeping.
Yeah, no need to apologize to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think they're fine. And in fact, we should just give grateful thanks to Earth, Wind, and Fire for everything they've ever done and blessed our ears with. Bon dia from Coimbra. Hey, good morning, Gary Austin. In a slightly different place. There is movement. There is movement. We are becoming unconstipated socially. That's not a pretty picture on a Monday morning, is it? Bon dia from sunny Shropshire, from John Rooney. Hey, John, how are you? Stephen McGibbon. Bon dia, Carl, still in sunny northwest of England. Claire and Steve, where you been? Things are opening up. They're revving up the camper as we speak, I'm sure. Don't give up your day job, Carl. What? What was that about? Was that about us going on tour? Doing PAs in nightclubs? We've been there and done that before. It would be a revival. It wouldn't be something new for me and Frank. Penny Alpatella, Bon di Alegria from a sunny Brixton. It was a beautiful weekend too. Pulled pork with crackling, cooked in our... Yes, Monday is food day, isn't it? Clearly. Did you have whoever, wherever you are listening, tell us what you had over the weekend. Even if it's not as delightful as this, we like to talk about food on a Monday. Homemade applesauce and stuffing in homemade baps. Wow. Also, meringues with raspberries, much to the delight of my grandchildren. Can you imagine that? Like Sunday lunch at grandma's house, and it's like that. My grandma, as wonderful as she was as a pastry cook, didn't quite stretch to the old pulled pork with crackling and all that sort of stuff. Sounds fantastic, Penny. Victoria, Atlanta, Georgia, a dark Atlanta at the moment. Bon dia, Turush from
Victoria.
You. Anna's here as well. Anna Forsberg, bon dia. Jersey over in the States, bon dia, alegria, todos. Good morning from Baltimore, from Jim. Hey, Jim. Marta Represas. I think that's about, I don't know what that was quite about. Probably you talking about how you've missed the drunks of Coimbra, possibly there. Ernest. Hey, Ernest. Lots of love to you and Rizal. Great. We are on our way to Coimbra. So you have a guide in the form of fellow Canadian, Frank. Oh, yes, incidentally, that's how the show's built this morning. An Englishman and a Canadian go to Portugal. That could be that's the memoirs as well, isn't it? Hopefully one day.
That's a nice setup for a lot of hell.
Yeah. So if you want to ask any questions from that point of view, you know who to ask right here on a Monday morning. Bom dia, alegria de Maastricht, from Mike Campion. Good morning, Mike. 2023. I don't know if that was the lull about that then. It was a talk radio segment I saw. Former assistant to Tony, what's his name? The former PM there. And they were not that one, the other Tony, the Australian Tony. The
loser one.
Yeah, that one, if you like. Still, well, they're all losers in the end, aren't they, politicians? I mean, I don't think we should cry for them too much because they go off to do other things, don't they? They help on boards, as we saw in the UK, that David Cameron was very helpful to some of his friends. Well, trying to be, and it didn't turn out terribly well. Maybe the new Super League should get him to lobby for. No, they shouldn't get no because he's not very good at it. But we're going to talk about why football fans have got their knickers in a twist in just a moment. Still upset about that, Frank? It's his coffee.
Last night was not a good night. As I was watching this, Henry and I, who's also a United fan, we were talking about this, and there's going to be some anarchy.
Okay, excellent.
I've got a theory about this, so we're going to talk about that theory.
Excellent. Okay, so if you're not a footy fan, don't be put off by that, because this is the intersection of global capitalism, football, greed, and human nature are all currently under the microscope. It's quite fascinating. Still locked down here in the Netherlands. Fiasco around vaccines is delaying opening up. Interesting. Marta Reprejas, I'm Portuguese in Finland. Oh, okay, Marta. Great to have you come. We don't quite know which bit you were laughing at. Do enlighten us. Morning all from Elaine. Hey, Elaine, how are you? Elaine has some excellent views on the pandemic, and I'm sure too on how we're opening up here. And I don't know if you're in southern Portugal at the moment, Elaine, your favourite part of Portugal, I think. But let us know how you're doing this morning. Hi, Gary from Victoria. Corey Dispraxis is here. Bon dia, Carl, and Frank. Bon dia to you, Corey. Paul and Louise. Not the same. I love from Paul and Louise at the kitchen table. A beautiful morning here. So sorry. When I went for the juggler there, see, circus joke, yes, and got you mixed up. Bon dia, alegria de California, from TP Larson. There's a lot of names that are coming back. It must be because of you, Frank. Hola, bon dia from Caroline in Moscow, or last seen in Moscow anyway. Good morning to you, Caroline. I hope you're well. Amazing weekend in Tamar and Batalha. Great to see people out and about. Wasn't it just? I was in San Martinho de Porto myself, in case you couldn't guess from the video I posted up on Expats Portugal yesterday. It was so great to be among people. It really was. And your photographs of Tamar were superb, Ernest and Rizal. Absolutely wonderful. Got to go to Tamar if you haven't been there, if you're thinking of coming to Portugal, or even if you live here and haven't been to Tamar. Absolute must-go place. Have you been to Tamar yet, Frank?
No, not as yet. We've passed by Batalha last week when we were coming back from the Algarve, but didn't stop in Batalha. What's fascinating about Batalha is just the name, Battle.
Yes. Well, no, there's one of those in the UK, actually. Yeah, near Hastings, of course, a place called Battle. But yeah, you know what you're dealing with, don't you, when you go to a town called Battle? It may well have a historic past. We had sun in Finland. What? Over the weekend there. Is that allowed at this time of year? My son brought me a Big Mac yesterday, a guilty pleasure. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Very good. Mary Jo Deakin, good day from... And, the Big Mac, let's talk about Big Macs for a moment. So, some of our listeners will, those people who very quickly tell you they don't have TVs. And they are growing in number, and I do understand why they don't have TVs. But a bit like, as well, a bit like vegans, because often vegans are quite keen to tell you they're vegan. People who, excuse me, that's the god of vegans stopping me talking.
Right about when you were going to drop a huge bomb of a lie. Stopped you.
Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to take that as a cue. Good day from Campo Real, Torres Vedras, from Mary Jo Deakin there. Paul Louise, roasted ham, they're not vegans, with English mustard and Portuguese honey marinade, served with green veggies and dauphinoise potatoes. Oh my goodness! And sobremesa, homegrown rhubarb with crumble and clotted cream ice cream.
What is going on in this world right now?
Absolutely. I think that's one sort of possible pandemic uptick there, isn't it? Or positivity. Is that as people have been a bit more adventurous with their cooking. Maybe they always were, Paul and Louise and Penny, but I don't know. With people being confined, I think the standard, the game has been raised.
I kind of find like from every house, I think after this pandemic, there's going to be a Martha Stewart or there's going to be a Gordon Ramsay coming. Oh no, that's not a good sign. Martha Stewart is better. So a lot of Martha Stewarts coming out who will be, and it's good. People are cooking at home, right? This is beautiful, beautiful ingredients. You cook with them, and you don't have to spend money in restaurants.
Superb. Yeah. And if you want to join us in the conversation this morning, there's the number 913-590-303. No, please, nobody. I'm getting a lot of these spam mails, with cheap loans and stuff. We don't really want that or anyone selling us Bitcoin this morning. But if you're a friend,
I thought you were going to say something else.
Okay. No, I'm not. I can, from the look on your face, I'm not going to even ask you about that. But call us if you're a friend of the show. Have a chat with us if you want this morning. Bom dia from Idania Velha, Portugal, from Maria Caldeira de Souza this morning. Stephen McGibbon. Not been on for ages, sorry. As you know, we're completely forgiving here. No need to apologize. We love you. Whether you're here once in a while, if you're never right, if you never call, it's fine. It's just as long as you're here today. As you know, we headed back last August to get a few jobs done on the Moho. However, got sidetracked and had to have a quadruple heart bypass unexpectedly.
Wow.
Well, hold on a minute. The RAC don't do that today as well now? Or is it the ACP in Portugal? Unbelievable. Okay. Anyway, now good. And the Moho goes in next week. Thereafter, back on the open road. Well, lots of love to you for an excellent recovery with that. That is quite a distraction, isn't it?
Lots of love to your ticker there, Stephen. That's quadruple. That's got to be like heavy duty, right? It's probably a 5 or 6 hour operation.
I don't think you can have any more work done than that on a heart. Basically, there is no quintuple, is there? So quadruple, amazing. Yeah, all our love to you from the whole community for an excellent recovery, and look forward to raising probably green tea now. We'll have to downgrade from wine and beer. Recovery, yeah, all the best. Wow, news just in from Claire and Steve there. Carl, I don't know who the Louise you mentioned may be. I had beef brisket. Oh, there's a call coming in. Should we take it, Frank?
Take it. That's good.
Okay, who's calling the Good Morning Portugal show? The Louise you mentioned may be. On a long delay? I had beef brisket. We're listening to ourselves now. Should we take it? Look, stop listening to your computer and start talking to us on the phone. Oh, they panicked and left at the last. Don't know what to say. Who was that? Let us know in the comments if that was you. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing you need to do. If you are tuned in and you decide to call, there will be a delay from us doing what we're doing on the screen and it being squashed into a small enough bits to go down pipes and stuff. Oh, they're trying again, Frank. Oh, and then going up to the satellites and back again. So there's a little bit of a delay. Be aware of that. Let's try this again. Who's calling the Good Morning Portugal show? Hello.
Good morning. It's Susan calling from Finland.
Susan from Finland.
Hey, Susan.
It's been a while to figure out how to get through.
How amazing. It's lovely to hear from you. What can we do for you this morning?
Nothing. I just wanted to wish you guys a bom dia and let you know that I'm watching again.
I'm watching.
We're so happy that you're watching. What are you having for breakfast, Susan?
I'm watching you and Frank.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we got you. And we're so glad you called. Yeah, Frank wants to know what you're having for breakfast.
Well, this is ridiculous, but I had a lovely potato salad.
Of course you did.
Hey, that'll do.
I made it yesterday, and I just didn't feel like washing dishes. It seems like the pandemic is just washing dishes constantly.
Yes, no, I feel your pain there for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Although my wife will probably laugh if she hears me saying such a thing, trying to look good on the radio here. But yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed your potato salad. What's if I may ask, is your connection with Portugal? Are you hoping to move here?
I'm looking to move there. I had 2 little dogs. One passed recently, so now it's just me and one little guy. And I've been looking everywhere and learning so much from you guys. But now I'm looking at Monchique or near Lagos. Even though I had been in central Portugal, I think it's too wet for me.
Yep. Okay. Fair play. Fair point. Yes. Well, actually, Frank might have something to say about that, because do you think people are overly concerned about the dampness of central Portugal, Frank?
They may be a bit concerned, and I was the new friends that we met. They were talking about it's wet over here at least 3 months a year. So if you're concerned about the wet, and winters are kind of chilly, and it's different kind of chilly because of we've talked about the insulation in the homes and whatever. But in the Algarve, and once again, Carl, not being a show off, while I was driving around the Algarve, we passed by Monchique.
I'm from Canada. I live in Finland because it was easy getting residency here. I've been to France, Italy, Switzerland, Scotland, and England. So this pandemic has slowed down my travel plans. But right now I'm hoping to convert a little van so I can explore all over Portugal.
Oh, how
this is amazing. Where in Canada are you from?
Yeah. But anyway, listen, I'm going to let you go because I want to watch the show.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Susan, thank you so much. That's fantastic. That's how we roll here on a Monday morning. If you want to do that, you know what to do. 913-590-303. Susan, thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Take
I
care.
think maybe we can get Susan interested in doing a YouTube channel. Traveling around Portugal in a camper van. How much fun would that be?
Oh, this is the kind of stuff everyone wants to do, and if you can do it, and it takes a little bit of planning, I guess, because you've got to set up your camper van properly and whatever. But it would be amazing. What adventures!
Yeah, and a bit of a word of caution. I'm not meaning to pee on anybody's chips here, but the Portuguese are quite strict about van conversions. I mean, in UK, where I'm from, you can basically buy any vehicle and put a few pallets in the back and an IKEA mattress, and people call that a van life, don't they? And you can get away with it. I don't think it's that easy in Portugal. If you get stopped, you're supposed to have properly sort of converted your vehicle as probably a tax revenue or something like that. But be a bit more careful in Portugal with that sort of thing. Just letting you know. So I don't want you to be getting into any trouble. And who hasn't been tempted to buy an old van and pick up a few pallets and put an IKEA mattress in the back and a bucket, obviously?
Rachel and I were working on it actually for at least a year. We were thinking about this is how we were going to do Europe. And then we realized that it's not going to be a lot of fun not staying in touch and not having a base, because then for sure my mom is going to call me a proper gypsy.
Your mum, I think, would be looking at the pictures of you, like how you're parked up in the Jerez National Park or something like that. You got the back of the van open, and you say, "Mum, look at us, we're living the dream." And your mum's saying, like, "Frank, when did you last have a wash? It looks horrible in there. When are you going to empty that bucket?" This is what. So again, be mindful of mothers and the Portuguese authorities if thinking about van life in Portugal. So back to the beef brisket. We've gone from potato salad. Thanks, Susan, so much for calling us. Really enjoyed that, from Norway this morning. No, did you say Finland or Norway? Sorry.
She's in Finland right now.
Finland, beg your pardon. So beef brisket for dinner yesterday. Frank, if there's any other issues along the lines of the things you wanted to know about food but were afraid to ask, what actually is a beef brisket, Frank? I don't know what that is.
Brisket is the cut, and usually there's like different ways brisket is done in North America. The brisket that is in the South that they barbecue, and they've got the dry seasoning around, is absolutely beautiful. It's marinated in dry seasoning, and then they barbecue it, and inside, when it comes out, they slow cook it. And it's when it comes out, oh man! I hope it's that kind of brisket that they're doing. It was meant to be before a cheap cut, but a cheap cut that has now become very fashionable.
Yes, as is often the way. Okay, and but I think brisket is not a nice word. That's why I think I've steered clear of it. Brisket doesn't sound appetizing to me, and I don't know why.
All right. No, it is quite appetizing in my neck of the woods. I know where you're going, and I'm not going there with you.
No, I don't know where I'm going, and I love it when you are about to say something and you don't, which is clearly what you did then. So well done. Laughing about missing the drunks of Coimbra. Um, don't worry. I mean, on occasion, you are one of them, aren't you, Frank?
Yes, yes, I'm the one going around shaking people's hands like King of Kensington. Hey, how you doing? Bom dia, tudo bem? Cadê sua cerveja? Oh, you. And people are like, who is this lunatic? Get him out of here.
Well, this is what happens. People return home from a holiday in Portugal and they've got a selfie with Frank. He called himself the King of Kensington and then kept saying amote, amote. Seemed like a nice enough bloke. When my house sells, thinking of celebrating by buying a Ronaldo jersey. Which iteration of the CR7 are we talking about here? Liking the dragon design from a few years back. Okay, so Frank's your expert on this. And I think this is our access to talk about the inflamed situation of football in the UK and other parts of Europe, of course, because there's talk of a Super League, which has upset you football fans. What happened, Frank?
It's horrible. It's a horrible money grab that these teams are going through. The top six in the UK and the teams, I think two teams in Spain, two big teams in Italian teams. And here's where I will give credit to the German teams. They declined becoming a part of this breakaway league. They will not participate in it, and I'll be sooner a fan of Dortmund than be a fan of any of these money grabs, any of these silly teams. The idea behind it is to have a breakaway league, just play amongst each other in the middle of the week, have these matches, and what they're saying is these are more high profile. The fans want to watch this anyways. My theory on this is what these big teams did, like Manchester United, is during the pandemic, they tested out the waters with their fans in China and in India, because they are not here anyways. Nobody's in the stadium, so they figured that even if we don't have anyone in the stadiums, the fans are still watching. The lights are still on. The revenue is still, the TV revenue is still coming in. So what do we need actual fans for? They will be very, very surprised, because the purists like myself, I've been a fan of Manchester United since 7 or 8 years old. I've been watching Manchester United. So like, let's say a match starts here at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd wake up first thing in the morning when I was living in the west of Canada, and you would wake up, and the first thing that you would do is you would watch football. And this is so disappointing for a hardcore fan. I've flown to Old Trafford from Toronto so many times just to watch a football match. This cannot happen. A fan like myself will be gone. What they don't realize, Carl, is that the revenue coming in from American, Canadian, British fans themselves, that revenue and what it's worth is much more than the fans in India and China.
Okay, all right. So it's not an underestimation here, as Yahoo News is saying. European Super League plan, football on the brink of all-out civil war as proposals present seismic moment for the game. Incredible. And I mean, like I said before, this is greed rearing its ugly head, right, and putting the fans' noses out of joint. And this is also, I mean, to open it up a little bit further and to extend this into, as we come out of lockdowns and deconfinements and the pandemic effect, this is one of these things that we should resist at all costs, because so much of life could go this way, right? It's like, oh, well, football's been quite good without any fans. The money's been coming in, like you say. You know, we've got fans all over the world. Why don't we do that with concerts as well? Because it's pretty grubby when we have all these people together, and they're such a pain to manage when they all get together. Let's do everything on Zoom for the rest of time and just put a turnkey fee on it. So it could be gigs are like that. Going to the pub could be like that. Uber Eats could be like that. You never go to a restaurant, you just eat online and you see pictures of other people dining. That would keep the world nice and clean and infection free, wouldn't it?
Well, make everything the Netflix business model, right? So if there are concerts to be had, then what they can pretty much do is turn it into, okay, so we are going to watch, you can watch 5 concerts for this price for the year. and the artist will be sitting in his pajamas. Chris Martin for Coldplay, and he's going to poor guy. I don't know why I'm naming him. I love the guy, and he's going to be like playing Yellow from his living room, and everybody's going to watch it. He'll probably do it for free because he's a wonderful person. It's just that it'll be horrible, right? Is it Coldplay? You told me once Coldplay is your favorite band, right?
No, Frank. But don't worry. For this Netflix thing you're talking about, I think you've done enough there to get yourself tickets to that. Well done. Well done. Good morning to you, Chris. By the way, yes. I mean, this is the sad possibility. Resist. We want to resist it. So the football fans are leading the way, aren't they? Saying no, we won't. But you see, this is where I'm concerned, because on the one hand, when people are sort of upset about this at this stage, the all-out civil war, and there's no way we're going to fall for this, they fall for it because it's convenient. And that's the thing, isn't it? The convenience seems to get people in the end. So if you don't have to go out and you could just stay home all the time and have food delivered and have gigs delivered via fiber optic, why are people going to go out? Not that I want that world. That is the last world I want, I promise you. But it looks to me like we are drifting horribly towards that.
Well, I kind of feel we're being punked on a big stage here.
Yes.
Like on a big level, like with everything. So like a lot of people with their theories would say, "Oh, this is because it's meant to be this way for many years." So everybody is kind of setting themselves, sports franchises are setting themselves up in a particular way. Music is going to go one particular. I don't think so. I think once things open up, and they will. All these business models will go down the toilet because people want to hang out with each other. Bless you. Bless you.
Wow, 3 sneezes in a row. I spared you that with the mute button. Okay, so what do you think, folks, about this alarming trend to just follow the money? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, isn't it? It's like, the people behind this cynical football move is like, okay, well, forget about all the little clubs. Just put the big ones on that people want to watch. Charge them money to watch it. No grubby fans going into grounds or any people management like that. It's all online now, and we're going to make a fortune. Resist is what I say, but more importantly,
I'll become a Torquay fan. I'll go and support like the smallest team. I'll become a Queens Park Rangers fan. I'll become one of these teams fans that are in second division, and I will quit these big teams. That will be it. That will be it for me.
I agree with you. In fact, I've always liked to position myself like that to support the local team. Walk to the match, feel the vibe. Not that I go very often, but it's always been fun to do that. And I think a lot of people will be with you on that, and they'll turn their backs on this out and out greed. But which jersey, more importantly, for Victoria, do we think? I can't see the serpent one here. And why that's a 17, I don't know. I mean, 7's the number for this man, isn't it? Wait, do you have any of these, Frank?
I don't. I don't believe in wearing another man's T-shirt. So what I'll usually do is.
That's good advice in life, generally, isn't it? Okay. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
So I don't know. I've got Manchester United shirts, but I don't have any numbers or names in the back because I hate that, and I especially hate when fans go and put their family name in the back with their own number, with their address on it. So I'm like, okay, so now I know your family name and I know your address, and all I need to do is just show up in a mask and a hoodie, and let's see you at midnight.
Not that he would do that, everybody. He's
Not
just
that
joking. But I have to say, like it's pleasing for a man of my sexual persuasion to see a lady in a man's shirt sometimes. It's quite nice to see a woman in a rugby shirt or a football shirt. So I'm sure you're very fetching, Victoria, in whichever one you choose. And the dragon one sounds great. Elaine Godley, all going well on our community. Self-sustainable projects, including health guidance for everyone, whatever their choices. Must hop on with you soon to catch up, Cole. Would love to hear about the project. This is in the Algarve of people. It sounds to me like taking a bit more responsibility for their health. So as well as following the guidelines and the law, etc., they're not just being recipients of a paternalistic medical system. They are taking their health into their own hands as well, which I can only agree with and support. I went to a very well-known boarding school, got lice. Is that what you did at the weekend? Because I thought What we have a problem here. The problem is match the comment with the question, because we do move at a pace here, and I can't unless she's commenting on 2 forums at the same time, and that's gone to the wrong recipient there. But I'm sorry to hear about that, Frank. What would your, as an agony uncle, I'm going to make you an agony uncle now. What would you suggest in this predicament?
Well, first I would ask if did they get just lice or flight lice? Because
I can't believe you said that. I'm banning you for 5 seconds.
I can do that. You're my buddy.
I can do that. You can't do that. Oh, okay. Maybe the well-known boarding school is in Tamar, where you can get lice if you not if you want to. It's just it just seems to be a pitfall of going to that particular establishment. Who have a right to reply if they wish to join us on the show. You know the number 913-590-303. I think I think we've tied it up there. It's probably a boarding school in Tamar. Greetings from Harrogate. Sorry, late sunbathing. Is Paul getting at that special kind of sunbathing we were talking about on Friday? I don't know. Maybe he is. You've got to pick your moment with that kind of sunbathing, though. In reference to the Battle of Aljubarrota, which is a great name and a great place. And, of course, Battaglia is the great Battle of Aljubarrota. Yes, we got to go there. Definitely. That's amazing. And yes, the battlefield, you can almost kind of hear it and smell it in the air. It's an incredibly historic place of Portugal. We're all foodies, not pandemic newbies. All right. Sorry, Penny. I thought people might react to that. Always been interested in the food. It's not just the pandemic that's brought that on. Why would a Canadian, here's a good question for the Canadian. Why would a Canadian move to Portugal? Can't believe for the nature. Would love to go to Canada one day, from Bram Lemons. So on the spotlight on Frank now.
Canadian moving to Portugal, it's a natural. You move to Portugal for the sunshine. Canada is a wonderful country. However, during winter, you have about like 4 months or 4.5 months of kind of cold and very dark weather. So there comes a point in your life when you say, you know what, I want to try something different. You still have your connections in Canada. But there's no better city than Toronto in the summer. But Portugal, pretty much sunshine. What do they say? 300 days of sunshine, guaranteed.
Give or take 5. And there is quite a lot of truth in that. And you can tell from what I'm saying that, it's a guide. It's not a guarantee, okay? So you can't be suing Portugal if you don't get your 300 days. But it's a really good guide. And it's not just the amount of days of sunshine. It's the amount of light you get. And we especially saw this on the Silver Coast. This blue behind me doesn't do it justice, but it gives you a sense. And presumably that's something as a light-starved Canadian you've appreciated from being here. It's like being in California or Los Angeles a lot of the time.
It's unbelievable. And as far as suing goes, I'm kind of guaranteeing it, but they can always sue me, Benny Hill. It's all good.
It's on his Man United t-shirt, Benny Hill, on the back there. So there you go. That's what I hear from other Canadians as well. It's no disrespect to the land they love. And Frank's hit the nail on the head there. You get to a certain age where you think, I can't be digging us out of the snow again this year. Enough already of the 300 days of darkness or whatever it is they're escaping from. They just want to come and just wear 1 or 2 layers here in Portugal. So there's your answer, Bram, on that one. Bon dia from a super sunny Stockholm. Good morning, Anna. Barbecue premiere here this weekend. Have a great week. That's a special moment, isn't it? Barbecue premiere. What did you put on it? A beef brisket? I wonder. Lee McGrady's here. But he had his barbie out this weekend. Good morning, people. Head gardener McGrady.
Hey.
Joining us tonight for our gardening Q&A, a bit of a niche broadcast on a Monday evening at 6:15 with the Fresh Air crew. We're encouraging people to get out and grow in their gardens. Just waiting for Linda to be done with the vampire department at the hospital. I think, aren't they called phlebotomists to stop people calling them vampires, Gary? But phlebotomy is such an interesting word as well, isn't it?
I'm sorry, what kind of botanist?
Not botanist, phlebotomist.
Oh, okay. Phlebotomist. It's a medical term.
But now you mention it, like phlegm and bottom in one profession is not good, is it? Finland. Sorry, Marta. 2 from Finland. This is so cool. Hi, Susan, says Marta. Yes. It's a big. I'm working on a big Finnish joke somehow. Maybe you two, Marta and Susan, can do the big finish for us today. Thanks for your thoughts, guys. 4 hours under the knife, Frank. And yes, not much left to do. See you guys later in the year when we're back in Portugal. Absolutely.
Look forward to it.
Your choice of where you stop in the Moho, we'll come and meet you. Nat Waring, bon dia, and from Nat and Dave in the Cotswolds, had a very untraditional gammon, egg, chips, and beans. That is a classic, though. I haven't seen that for a while. Did they have a ring of pineapple, I wonder, for Sunday dinner, and strawberries and cream to follow? Please tell your government to hurry up and let us come house hunting. We know we're all allowed to come for that reason, but can't do the quarantine time too. Okay, got you then, Nat. Yeah, so thanks to Boris's dad, there is, of course, the clause for house hunting and house prepping, house fluffing, all that sort of stuff you do. But of course, yes, the quarantine is still the kicker for people. So we will do our best when we finish the show today and we go and speak to government officials as we do.
Is that your PM, Boris the hair model?
Yes, my PM. I don't like to see it like that. But just because you've got a...
Or should I call him a president?
All right. Just because you've got a pretty boy premier in the shape of Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake. Yes. He is not my PM. I could do a little meme, couldn't I? He not my PM, not in my name. What's the number? Oh, 9. I think Head Gardener McGrady wants to join us. 913-590-303. He's going to be on a Portuguese phone. Or I can put the link in if you want to show us the garden this morning. I suspect that's maybe what you want to do, Lee. I'm taking a big risk here. This is going in the comments, everybody. Anyone who wants to join us on screen, always nicer actually than the phone thing. You've heard how the phone thing can go horribly wrong. So if you want to join us on screen, Lee, you know what to do. Bon dia. From this Prince Edward Island native.
PEI.
What is he talking about there? I mean, this is presumably one of the islands of the colonies, is it?
Eastern Canada. This is a very, very beautiful place. PEI. Well, Canada overall, from east to west. Canada is a beautiful country. Justin Timberlake, if you're watching, haven't trashed our country.
Don't forget his civic.
Nor your horrible policies, vaccine policies, but we won't go there today.
Oh dear, I think that's why Frank is moving towards a civic honour in the from Her Majesty, because he's burnt his bridges, possibly politically, in Canada. But good morning to you, Thane. Fantastic. I believe you're in Portugal now, so congratulations on your move. Lots of love to you. Bon dia from the Prince Island native there. Prince Edward Island native there. Fantastic. Campervan, I did it, says Marta. 1 week to old historical cities, and it was magical. 3,000 kilometers far away from highways. Maybe that was the thing. Lice. That's the other thing, and that's what mums are worried about. People getting lice on their van life tour. But that does sound amazing. 3,000 kilometers in the camper van. The old historical cities. Fabulous, Marta. Sadly, wild camping is now illegal in Portugal. See, there you go. Please bear in mind when advising people about camping trips. Thank you, Corey. So go to official campsites and Lidl car parks only. If you're thinking of camping, it's a thing, isn't it? This is whilst you might think it late at night in a little car park, there is some sort of illicit stuff going on with a collection of camper vans, and there may well be. I don't know.
Intermarché car parks.
Is it the same? So the big supermarkets.
Intermarché car parks actually have laundry facilities, like outdoor, like you can do your laundry. I don't know if you've noticed, they've got like these big laundry machines. So folks with motorhomes can come and do their laundry. What else would it be there for? Yes, and it's the only supermarket where you can wash your dirty linen in public. Absolutely, that's what it's about. So there is, yes, Frank's absolutely right. Intermarché, and their branding is visible from the roads. Saw it yesterday. So from miles around, the motorhomers end up in the Intermarché car park, stock up on stuff whilst doing their laundry, which is a laundromat right next to the supermarket. It all makes sense suddenly. You guys will definitely be on the Franceschina Brothers on tour. That's good, but that's not very good for our Mancini figures, I suspect. Is it? I don't know how we're going to... It'll go a little bit wonky here and there. You know, those Mankinis are kind of like flexible. And especially in gold.
Forgiving. So people are just not looking at your Franceschina belly. They're just mesmerized by the flashing apparition.
It's the Big Mac package you carry, man.
Sorted. Okay. Maria Jose second mention of Big Macs this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Maria Jose Fernandes. And we did 7 months in Portugal last year after 3.5 in Spain. This is the Moho life. As long as you have the motorhome, you don't need to plan. Just do it. Fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic memories there. Antonio F. Bon dia to you, Antonio F. Hope you're well. Bon dia. Tudo bem. Wouldn't get that type of behavior from Birmingham City. Our funding once upon a time came from good old-fashioned smut. Yes, of course, David O'Sullivan, wasn't it? Or David Sullivan. Very interesting. Football club owners are interesting people, aren't they? Who would want to do that? That was
So Pornhub used to own Birmingham City?
No. But previous, I think predating pornography on the internet, when it was still magazines and other such ephemera, there was a gentleman called, and I use the term loosely, called David Sullivan, I believe, who owned a few titles and decided to put some of his profit into Birmingham City. Gary will correct that if that's not true. That was planning. I'm planning on installing a Murphy bed in my van to tuck it away. Do you know what a Murphy bed is?
Yeah, it's a bed that goes back into the wall. You've seen a few Murphy beds in your time.
I didn't know it was called a Murphy bed, and I'm intrigued as to know why. Perhaps it was named after the person who invented it, or the first person to be trapped in it.
Called Murphy.
There he is. He was like sleeping off a big hangover, and they had to get
Murphy is always lingering in people's walls.
They had to put the bed up, bungee cable it, and then just carry on driving. And then they pulled it down, and he was still asleep. I buy collectibles on my travels. I understand buying used items is difficult or expensive in Portugal. Yes, they retain their value. You'd be surprised by the old things that are still worth 100, 200, 5,000 euros on a street market. It's quite incredible. What's going on here? Let's add him to the stream. Head Gardener McGrady. Wagwan.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Mr. McGrady, how's it going?
I've had to find some shade. It's getting warm already.
You see, there's a bit of bragging there in that statement, isn't there? That's for the folks back home. I'm sorry, I had to get some shade to make my call to you this morning. So, what's new in the garden, Head Gardener?
I'm turfing this morning. I've got Americans. I'm putting sod down.
He's putting a few sods down this morning.
I worked Friday, Saturday on a big turfing job.
Yeah.
And I had 10 rolls left over. So I'm using them in my garden.
Fantastic. So you're still on your own homestead this morning then?
I always try and spend Monday morning at home, get the lawns cut, get the beds tidy.
Yeah.
I'm back working this afternoon, just after lunch, and then the broadcast tonight.
Fantastic. And for those folks around the world, this is what a proper northwest of England accent sounds like. If you need us to translate, we will do it for you, Americans.
If you want.
You can do what?
I can spice it up for you if you want. I can put a bit on.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, you please do. Could you give us your appraisal of the football situation in a broad northwestern accent now?
Football is a game for girls.
Oh dear.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Wasn't a good start, was it?
0. Well, that's kind of spoiled things this morning, isn't it? That's kind of awkward.
Watch me go beat now.
No, it's not my thing.
Oh dear.
Overpaid. Overpaid. Pansies.
Oh no.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm kind of feeling the sentiment from last night. I'm kind of feeling the same sentiment, literally. I'm kind of like getting it. And since you look at these overpaid pansies, and I've been watching them for a very long time, I feel like the sucker and you feel like the winner, right?
Sorry, I missed that. It's breaking up a little bit.
What I'm saying is based on me spending so much time watching football and during breakfast, now after years, I feel like the sucker and you are the winner.
Yeah, I think people who don't like football are laughing this morning, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, they don't care.
Right,
Yeah.
the rest of my family are Man United fans, and they watch every game possible 24/7. But I never got the bug. It never interested me. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's a good bug. You've got the gardening bug, which is the best bug to have. I would like to exchange bugs with you.
I think,
Not that kind of
I
bug.
think the thing with the different I think people that enjoy football have never tried fly fishing.
Oh, that's interesting. Could you say that in a Northwest accent? Because that'll sound like a real gem of wisdom.
That was my Northwest accent.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I've lived there for a long time.
We're exploring a number of conversational cul-de-sacs this morning. So, what did you want to tell? What did you want to tell us, Lee?
No, I just come on to say good morning to everybody and to promote the chat tonight, the stream tonight.
Yeah,
there's been some good questions coming in this week about edible hedges and self-sustainability. So, if that's your cup of tea, we'll be live at what 15?
Edible hedges.
That is such a. Frank is interested because sometimes when he's walking home from the pub, he ends up in a hedge. Do you mean to say that he can get dinner on the way home now instead of a kebab?
I lived in Scotland for quite a while, and the walk home from the pub was a nightmare. Been the edge a few times, and I used to collect my dinner on the way home. Yeah, on a Sunday afternoon when
but it's a tasty vegan dinner, right? Like this is nice. Like you're chomping on hedges here.
Chomping on edges.
Yeah, it was always fun.
All right, so Lee,
right, so I'm gonna get back to my.
No, you got to show us your tomatoes before you go.
Oh, okay, well, I've got some just seeding as well in my little poly thing.
He's going to show off the tomatoes. This is going to be amazing.
Did you hear that? He's unzipping, and I'm
unzipping my little poly thing.
Yeah.
I can't turn my camera around, can I? So these are my new babies.
Beautiful.
You see those?
Some tomatoes growing this morning here, live on the show. Tomatoes growing.
Got some. Can you see the new seedlings?
Yep, very nice.
Nice.
Oh, there's tomatoes from seeds. That's impressive.
My sweet peas are just coming through as well, but they're still tiny yet. You won't catch them on the camera.
I tell you what, that's the blue sky we're talking about, isn't it, Frank? The 300 days of sunshine.
Oh, beautiful.
That is the sunshine I'm talking about. Live for you now from where are you, Cascais area?
Just the back of Caprica.
Caprica, pardon, Caprica, south of the river there.
So this is my my main tomato crop, which are all in containers and all on drip feeders. Yeah, they're coming on nicely.
Garden. Lee, I gotta commend you on that beautiful garden over there. I love what you're doing over there. You're a real. This is a gem of a garden you've got going over there.
It's a bit of a mess at the moment. It's not had a cut for a week, so the grass is getting a bit long.
Yeah, that grass will do me. Is that chomping grass?
Let's have a look at my wildflower bed, Carl.
Oh, well, the wildflower bed. We've been tracking this from week to week on a Monday evening. Wow!
Is that in Canada?
Wow.
It was only soil last time we saw it. That's beautiful. So there's going to be bees and birds in there. Fantastic.
They've already come in. It's already attracting.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's coming on lovely. It's what the tallest one's now about 3 foot.
Fabulous.
So they're coming on there. And my don't look at the pool lawn because that's a mess.
Okay.
But my new lawn was cut. And I cut it. I worked all day Friday, 12 hours turfing.
This is amazing.
I did all day Saturday, 11 hours. Got home Saturday night and cut my lawn at 8:30, just as the sun was going down. So this was seeded 10 weeks ago.
Oh, look at that!
Look at this. This is like a fresh hair. This is like it's like one of those haircuts you got, Carl.
Man strokes lawn. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Lee. 10, 11 weeks. Yeah, perfect.
That's how fast and lush things grow here in Portugal. So I'm glad we hooked up with you this morning, Lee. Yes. The head gardener, when he says, "Come on, you Reds," he's talking about his tomatoes. Lee, thank you very much indeed. See you
Good
tonight.
morning, lads. Enjoying the show. See you later.
Thank you for being here. So there goes the head gardener, Lee McGrady, checking in this morning with a view from his fabulous. Wasn't that lovely?
That's amazing. I'm like so jealous. I wish I could get into gardening. Are you like an avid gardener there, Carl?
not avid, but I mean, Mrs. M tends to be the gardener here, and I make the kind of stuff, that goes in the garden. I like the landscaping and, the hard landscaping and the DIY side of it. Not so much of a green thumb, as you North Americans say, but I love the idea of it. I really love the idea of it. And when you see someone's garden like that and you hear about Lee's life and he's out there, grappling with tomatoes rather than watching footy on the box, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make a lot of sense. This is what I need to get into. I need to get into this. This is it's so soul soothing. You look at all that. You look at the beautiful garden and the fruits and vegetables he's growing. This is what life is all about. Forget about football. Here's to you,
yes,
United.
we're coming back to football immediately. The Super Six will eventually go the same way as Kerry Packer's Cricket Super League. Did that die a death?
It died a horrible death, and there was it was the same kind of thing where a lot of players went for a lot of money, and they set up their own league. It didn't work very well.
Okay, good. Well, we know that there is a point past which fans will not go. The Mark Anthony concert the other night crashed from the traffic. So many fans signed on, it wasn't possible to broadcast. What a nightmare that would have been, going back to the brave new world of everything online. And there's another reason not to do it. Chat was fun. Thank you, Susan. We enjoyed chatting to you this morning as well. So, yeah, the Murphy bed, not a full conversion, need room for those collectibles that we were telling you are indeed pricey. And you can go check at OLX as well for finding old things. But you will find some treasures, definitely. The best way probably to get Portuguese collectibles is to buy a house here. And you'll have a cellar full of black bin liners and cupboards full of old stuff that you might find.
It'll be a mix of grandma's furniture that you will need 5 people to move around, or like you'll have 1 or 2 gems for sure in there.
Yep. The Super League, in my humble opinion, is a horrible idea. I think so many agree with you, apart from the shareholders, possibly. What's next? Going to the beach virtually. Exactly, Jim, which I did for you yesterday. Hope you enjoyed it. Ian Turner, I'm a Spurs fan, not sure how they... That's rich. Like Frank Algarve Devane. Anyway, I'm a Spurs fan, not sure how they qualify for the top 6 at the moment. Do you want to break the bad news to him or not, Frank? Spurs,
well, they're not in the top 6. It's just what these teams are basically doing. One of the things about the Super League thing as well is that they don't have to, they're guaranteed this. They're guaranteed to be in this league, so they won't get demoted if they play horribly. They won't go into the 2nd division. They will just be guaranteed revenue every year. It's a super money grab. Horrible thing.
You get to see the same 6 teams playing each other all the time.
No. So you've got 6 teams from the UK. Then you've got the 2 top teams in Italy, 2 top teams in Spain. These teams will compete against each other midweek and have their own league system going. And they will have their quarterfinals and then the one final game. This will bring them. This will be an extra on top of UEFA Champions League and Europa League.
Does sound boring. The pre-game and post-game celebrations are part of the fun. Absolutely. Of course they are. Come on, people. Bring back sociability. I like the black long-sleeve Adidas jersey with the dragon. Not sure which team he was on then. But that sounds like a Man United away strip, doesn't it, in black? I'm just about how great that one looks. Yeah, of course. The last jersey I had was Lindros from over 20 years ago. I'm sorry.
No, it's Eric Lindros. He's a hockey player. You can call him Lindros.
Okay. All right. Sorry for being late on parade. We all have. We will have Wi-Fi today, as the Mayor Man is up my pole at the moment. Ooh,
we don't want to go there.
On broadband. Canada is a new country. I love the historical aspects of Europe and the milder weather. Yes, I mean, thank goodness Her Majesty's people discovered it when they did. The circus school, moving to Penacova with my wife and son in the summer. We own a beautiful house on a ravine. It is a bit cool up a mountain, but you can still moon the sun like Carl does. All right. Jim McDonald says, I lived in San Diego on average 300 days of sun per year. Then we moved to just north of Denver, Colorado, averaged 330 days of sun per year. In Germany now, not even close to that. True, Jim. And there's my own link there for that Lee used. Susan, the only Finnish word others know is sauna. And yes, that's why I'm saying sauna and pronounce it wrong. It is sauna, not sauna, as we say in England. I fancy a bit of a go in the old sauna. No, I think sauna from. But there must be other Finnish words we use. I'm sure. Egg and chips need good home. Need good home made Portuguese food. Yes, was it you, Gemini, talking about somebody was talking about gammon, egg and chips? I think that's a classic meal, and sometimes you do need a ring of pineapple on there, don't you, to deal with the saltiness? I think that's what that's about. Not
Pineapple
enough.
always with salty food, especially grilled, will go very, very well.
Oh, good. However, Andrea Pereira, Hola bom dia, pineapple does not belong with gammon or pizza for that matter. My Portuguese mother-in-law thinks the translation pineapple is hilarious. What does that mean, Andrea? About what the Portuguese word for pineapple, or have we got a little bit of autocorrect going on there? But yes, it does divide people, absolutely. What about a Marmite pineapple and ham pizza? That would divide people down even more. Bon dia, my singing buddies. Hello, Douglas. Lots of fun from you. And we will actually, I should be able to find that before. I wonder if I can play that before. Frank's been. Yes. Okay, we can go out with that, I think. Belated hola and bon dia from sunny California. Hank, thank you for your kind words over the weekend, you lovely man. So I joined just in time to hear Mankini. Definitely not the best timing. Well, it's all a matter of opinion and taste, I would say, Hank. Bon dia, Hank, from Antonio F. A Murphy brr. Hold on. He got cut off there. A Murphy bed is well padded. Oh, very good. See what you did there. Excellent. I'd like to put a few sods down in government. Oh, going back to Lee there. Ooh. The bed is named after. Here we go. I knew somebody might look this up or even know about it already. The guy we want on our pub quiz team. It's named after William Lawrence Murphy, Bill Murphy, probably to his friends, 1876 to 1957, an Irish immigrant in New York who wanted to find a creative method of making space in his small apartment. He applied for his first patents in around 1900. Incredible visionary.
Incredible.
And sorry for us leaping to the wrong. Well, sorry for Frank leaping to the wrong conclusion about why that bed was named that way. Yay, rugby is the real man's game. So, yes, people agreeing with Lee's sentiment there. Here we go. Mike Campion. Football is 12 players pretending they're hurt. Rugby union is 15 players pretending they're not. Oh dear. Yeah, Lee.
It's well deserved. It's well deserved. I think I should switch to rugby. I'm a bit peeved.
Rugby and gardening now after this show for Frank. Lee, how do you actually? Rugby is probably closer to gardening than football, as you find your face being used as a gardening tool in the turf, as you're being ploughed through the mud head first by the opponents. There's some similarities there. Lee, how do you submit a question to the Fresh Air team without Facebook? Just send it to me, Carl, at expatsportugal.com, and I'll see that gets to. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? The Facebook thing. Can just imagine Frank doing the giraffe routine and eating the foliage on his way home, sleeping in the hedge as well, possibly bed and breakfast in a hedge. How about that? That's cheaper than Airbnb. Where in Canada are you from, Frank? Says Madeira Food Forest.
The only city that counts, Toronto.
Controversial. Jim McDonald, beautiful view, Lee. Edible hedges. Yes! We planted our tomatoes this weekend. So many seedlings still to plant out. Yeah, isn't nature wonderful? It's a miracle. Hola, Maria, bon dia. Frank and Carl, this is the lady chef I talked about. Oh, okay. Who was that? And where is she? I talked about from the great restaurant in Idania Avela Casa, the Villa Fonte na Casa da Amoreira. Perhaps you can ask her for your food show, Frank. Yes, you open invitation.
Absolutely, we'll get in contact with her.
Mondays is good for that, for sure. Diogo, hi, hello, good morning to all. Did the same here in my garden this last weekend, and today, Monday, nice sunny Norfolk, but missing Portugal. I can understand that. Here starts to be all open. I have one collection of shirts, but for me, it's the Benfica one forever. All the best to all for a good new week. Thanks, Diogo. Thanks so much, and igualmente to you, my friend. Denise, does Portugal have fish and chips? Maybe.
No, it doesn't.
Hold on a minute, Frank. Let's return to that. Do you think it would be popular? Well, some say Portugal invented fish and chips, right?
Well, they probably have their own version of fish and chips, but not like the battered version probably, but the chips will be a bit different.
Yes, and we do like Portuguese chips. But the thing is, I think here you could say cod and chips is the Portuguese original that the Brits took. And fish and chips is pretty amazing, but the Brits do have a tendency to change things, don't they? Tea exception, a notable inclusion, I should say.
Well, the top isn't the top meal right now, or the top food right now in Britain, Indian food.
I think it is. So probably the top three: Indian food, Chinese food, and fish and chips stolen from Portugal. What would be the? I mean, yes, I guess they could lay claim to. I say they. Isn't it interesting how I distance myself these days? Roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. We're going to find out, aren't we, that the Yorkshire pudding was actually imported from Borneo or something like that many years.
What I love? I love a Salisbury steak.
Tell us what a Salisbury steak is.
It's ground meat, beef patties in a nice, beautiful gravy. There's nothing called Salisbury. Don't kill this for me, man. I love a Salisbury steak.
I don't even know what that is. I don't mean to kill it. I've never heard of the famous English dish that is the Salisbury steak.
I'm going to take a glass of water and dive in it. This is horrible.
What does anyone else know what Frankie's talking about? The Salisbury, although presumably in the North America you call it the Salisbury steak, right?
The Salisbury steak, yeah, that's what we call it. Yeah, what's the problem? What kind of problem do you have, Carl Manson, with my accent? Because
like sauna, it's not sauna, and like Salisbury, it's Salisbury. Salisbury's got a Salisbury, yes.
I gotta get used to it. I gotta prepare this for the OBE ceremony. Oh yeah, there is. It was created by J.H. Salisbury.
You're sounding such a rissole right now. Salisbury steak sounds like a rissole. That's
Salisbury steak with mushroom gravy. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Carl. You've had this.
I've never heard of a Salisbury. I'm really sorry, and I'm not doing this just to wind you up. I've never heard until this morning of a Salisbury steak. I'm open to it. Okay, hold on. Incredible. No, and you had that for the first time in Her Majesty's United Kingdom.
Yes, and since that time I've been cooking it. In Canada, it's sold in pubs. You can find it in restaurants. It's a British delicacy, if you may.
It just sounds to me like like a typical Brit tribute day in Canada, where they're watching the Man United match, eating Salisbury steak and wearing bowler hats, and thinking, "Wow, we're so British today."
It's okay. You can laugh at me. It's all right. It's open season. It's all right. We can do this.
Yes, we have fish and chips, normally called filete de abroteia. Thank you for that.
Yes, Donna. Thank you so very much, Donna.
However, back to the Salisbury steak. Burgers in gravy from us in. Is this Frey Bentos Salisbury steak? Salisbury steak is served as school lunch. Oh, I think I have had that at school. Yes. And Frank admits it with no embarrassment. It's a traditional British favourite. Bird's eye. Crystals are awesome. No longer available here. Well, we've opened a can of worms and a can of burgers.
Salisbury steak.
Like Salisbury steak gate. Frank, you're going to have to talk for a minute while I find your immortalized performance. That whilst you're in the studio at the weekend, whatever you want to say now, it's going to help me if you cover for me for a moment while I try and find this.
Absolutely. So going back to Salisbury steak, that Carl has just shot down, like by a lot of my memories, not in the UK, my memories in Canada. Like you'd go for lunch and you'd go to a nice pub, you'd have Salisbury steak in mushroom gravy, you would have some chips on the side, you would have a nice lager, and that would do you for lunch. And all the Brits are now laughing at me because obviously I've not been eating the real thing as a Canadian. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna shut that down.
Sorry, was that? I found it, Frank. By the way, just in
Go
case you.
ahead.
I'm so sorry. It was so noisy. Yeah, well, that will continue. The Salisbury steak thing will continue. And so will the rumor that the Francesinha was named after you. Remember where you heard all of these first. Frank needs to find a room with a carpet. Too much echo in his room. Oh, you're really getting the sharp end of the stick, aren't you, at the moment?
DJ, I'll take you for a drink, man, if it solves the problem.
That's his answer to everything. Canned burgers, a delicacy. I promise you, I didn't know it was going to take this rather awkward twist at the end. But I think, maybe we can do as we normally do. And maybe next Monday we eat Salisbury steak live on air for breakfast.
Let's do that.
And encourage others to do the same. And there may be a sponsorship deal with Frey Bentos, whoever still produces it in the UK. Presumably it dates back to rations and stuff like that, and people were eating this.
So you're telling me I've been in restaurants and in pubs. Canadians have been eating tinned burgers in gravy. This is horrible.
This is a thing that we've discovered.
My childhood is ruined. Thank you, Britain.
It doesn't. Thank you, Britain. It doesn't end here. Okay, it really doesn't end here. We will continue to talk about this and perhaps do something. Hold on, stand by for a blast of music again. I'm going to have to. Right, okay. This is live production, everybody. I'm so sorry about that, but this is what we're going to end with today. And I will turn the volume just down a little bit.
You should put yours on too. Yours was amazing as well. I really liked it. I really liked your performance in it.
I can't find mine for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I see what you do, Carl Manson.
I think I've got it here somewhere though. Oh, why can't I load it up now? Yeah, so seriously, seems different version. Seems a different version. Primarily is a beef burger, so it is a beef burger in a gravy. I'll take you up on the drink when I make it over to Portugal. Okay, so all is well with the echoey business. Sue Hayward not helping, just laughing at us there, or you mainly, I think. Dear sweet Jesus, this is the most delightfully silly conversation. 2 thumbs up. There's nothing new about that, Frank, but thank you very much for your double thumbs up this morning. I'm now on a quest to get rightfully drunken with these guys. It's in my bucket list. Thank you for a fun session. I get the sense people are drawing us to a close here, Frank. They need a rest. But that said, I do need to bring this onto the screen somehow before we go. As a little treat for everybody this morning, another side of Frank that you have. Oh, I've got it now. That you may not have seen before. And at a moment, if your mum isn't entirely proud of the van life idea with the pallets and the homemade.
This is not going to help. You're going to get me thrown out of the will. This is what you want, Carl Manson. You're going to get me thrown out of the will. This is where it's going.
He's going to think you don't need any money after this with this amount of talent. Does it become, before we go, more of a delicacy if it's made with Black Angus mince? Genuine.
Sue, you're a superstar. Yes, ours is made with Black Angus mince. I completely forgot. Sue, thanks for reminding me.
Saved it at the last minute. Mate, try one good Portuguese steak a casa. All the best to all. That's a kind of put down, isn't it? I think in a way. But okay, a few unresolved threads there, but we're used to it. Salisbury steak will live on in our collective embarrassment, and we will look into it further. The history. Don't forget next Monday on the Good Morning Portugal show, the continuing adventures of the Salisbury steak. But for this morning, I give you this, and please enjoy.